Hi everybody, it's Lynn again. So we're going to take one more step with the basics of trigonometry right now and dealing with not only sine, cosine, and tangent, but also their reciprocals. So I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so in a previous video we introduced the new language that you're learning in this trigonometry class and trying to break it down so you can, so the whole rest of the semester is a little bit more learnable. So we introduced the saying SOHCAHTOA and what that stands for. So the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse, and remember it's always the sine of an angle. A sine, cosine, tangent are married to an angle. So sine of an angle is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of an angle, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent of an angle, opposite over adjacent. SOHCAHTOA is going to help you remember that every single time. So now I'm going to do another example with another right triangle illustrating a couple different things. First of all, in this right triangle we're given two sides, okay? We're given this side is 2, this side is 5. Now let's remember which sides those are. If we are focusing on this angle, the side that is 2 would be the adjacent side. The side that is 5 would be the hypotenuse. Now we have to find this third side. They did not give it to us from the beginning, so we have to find it. So if you have to do that, you're just going to use the Pythagorean theorem again, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, all right, where c is always the hypotenuse. So in this case, if we say 2 is a, we'll say 2 squared plus b squared equals 5 squared. 4 plus b squared will equal 25. To solve for b, we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So b squared equals 21. Now, when you're dealing in trig, do not be afraid of a radical. More often than not, they'll want you to leave the number in radical form. So what I mean by that is to get b by itself, we have to take the square root of both sides, which makes b equal to the square root of 21. And you can leave it just like that in radical form. So I'm going to write that up on my drawing. That's always smart to actually put the measurements on the drawing. So now we have this is square root of 21. And that would be our opposite side from the angle that we're focusing on. Let me erase this so it's a little less messy. Okay, so now we have the three sides of our triangle. As soon as you have all three sides of a right triangle, you're ready to go for any of the trig functions. And now I'm also going to draw your attention to the fact that there are 6 trig functions that they will almost always ask you for. We've talked about sine, cosine, and tangent. Each of these 3 has a partner, has a reciprocal partner. So if I say the sine of my angle theta in this triangle, the sine opposite over hypotenuse, so that will be the square root of 21 over 5. Keep going with cosine of my angle theta. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's 2/5. And finally tangent, which is opposite over adjacent. So opposites over adjacent will be the square root of 21 over 2. Now those are your 3 big ones that you usually start with. To get the other 3 of the 6, we are just going to take the reciprocals of each of these. What that looks like is the reciprocal of sine, and this is something you just kind of have to remember, reciprocal of sine is the cosecant. It's still always of an angle, so of the angle theta. It's just going to be the flip of these. So this is going to be 5 over the square root of 21. The reciprocal of cosine is plain old secant of theta, and that will be 5 over 2. And the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent, and that will be 2 over the square root of 21. So once you have the first 3, sine, cosine, and tangent, from SOHCAHTOA, then you can easily find the other 3 just using the reciprocals. If your teacher wants you to rationalize some of these things where you have a radical in the denominator, that's kind of up to a teacher's discretion. That's up to, that's up to you to figure out, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but hopefully by now you can be taught easily how to rationalize or remember how to rationalize, okay? So that's your basics. Again, more SOHCAHTOA, using the Pythagorean theorem, and then also finding these reciprocal functions. So hopefully that helps. Keep coming back, and I will get you some more videos for further lessons. Thank you.